So over the years, I've spent a lot of time checking out other people's cars and modifying them. And you know what? That is fun, but I want to have a go myself. I want to try and make something. Now, I have actually had a little bit of a play around trying to make something that would be a GTA 5 mod car. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. And so, I'm going to do the next best thing, which is going into automation, making a car, and then we can actually go and play it in BeamNG. So I need to find a car, and these apparently are from the 80s, but they kind of look 90s almost. I'm thinking something like a two-door hatchback. In fact, this says 1971. I don't really understand the years for this because this looks like an 80s car to me, but that looks like an old Mark II Ford Fiesta, so I'm going to give that a try. Oh, yes, that does look like a Mark II Ford Fiesta. A lot. Okay, I guess we're going to improve on the Mark II Ford Fiesta then. Right, panel material. So I could actually just go crazy and then just make this all the best. But I kind of want to make this relevant to the car. So since this is from 1988, I'm thinking steel or corrosion-resistant steel. And I'm not going to worry about tooling costs or any of that sort of stuff. I just want to play around for now. On the chassis type, I'm just going to go for a monocoque chassis. Chassis material, I guess we'll just do it out of galvanized steel. There we go. For the engine placement, I'm just going to have this transverse. That gives us a bit more cabin volume, and obviously it means we could fit perhaps a little bit of a bigger engine than perhaps we should fit in this car. And then I think we'll just do McPherson struts maybe. And I think we'll go solid axle coil. I think that's going to be very sort of what a hatchback from the 80s might have had. It could have had an axle leaf as well, but I think we'll just go for this single axle coil. We'll crank the quality up, because why not? Although it does tell us, we'll ignore that. Right, new engine, here we go. So this can be the Figure 8 family name. I don't know what variant this is going to be. The 4C, the 4-cylinder maybe. So I'm thinking we go for an inline 4. There we go, that's looking pretty good. Just regular cast iron, or maybe we'll go for aluminium. Definitely takes a lot of the weight off, but I do want to make this more relevant to being an 80s car, and just a, you know, perhaps like a premium economy model. 2 litre. I mean, 2 litre out of a small hatchback is pretty crazy. So how about we make this a 1.6? That's just going to make it a little bit smaller. And then we'll go for overhead cam. Or should we do like a dual overhead cam? That's pretty fancy for the year. Ooh, but let's go fancy. Let's try and make this a nice premium-ish model. We'll do an aluminium head. We've had a cast iron body. Let's just go out and make a nicer head here. On the crank, I think I might just go for the cast iron. Just keep it standard. We'll keep this cast and we'll just keep this pretty neutral in the middle. Pretty basic stuff. And we'll just crank the quality up. We'll ignore the suggestions that we should perhaps not do that. On the compression, I'm going to leave this all stock. And then we'll play with this once we get to the next bit. And I won't put variable valve timing or anything in. I'll just crank the quality up. Naturally aspirated or turbocharger. I mean, this is the 80s, and I think it's going to be more common to have this naturally aspirated. So I'm going to do naturally aspirated on this one, that we don't even have to worry about any of this stuff. Let's go for injection. Multi-point injection, maybe? Or actually, let's go multi-point EFI. Let's get this nice and fancy. And we're going to do it on a per-cylinder basis. And let's do performance. I want to get something out of this. And we'll use super leaded, maybe? I think super leaded might work for this sort of era of car. Pretty fancy looking. Right, I'm going to keep all of this stuff right here. I would like to have the RPM limit lifted up if I can. I want to have just a really loud, free-revving engine. Like 9,500 or something like that. Obviously, all of this other stuff, I'm going to try and change it in a minute. And by the way, some of you guys might be screaming at me that I'm like doing things wrong. To be honest, I'm using this just to play around and just to learn about how engines work and how they might work with each other and changing compression, all that sort of stuff. It's interesting to me, and it's not really anything I've ever got to play with before, so it's good to try this out in a game instead of in real life and spending money to learn terrible lessons. On the headers, so actually we can actually see the different ones here. We have the cast log, the short cast, the tubular, the long tubular, or the race tubular. I think we'll just go for a tubular one because that's actually pretty fancy. And then the exhaust diameter, 50mm, that is pretty small. We'll make it a little bigger. If we make that about 76, that's about 3 inches, I think, which is about what I've got on my Evo. I've got a 3-inch exhaust. Maybe that's a bit too much for a naturally aspirated car. I might knock that down a bit. On the first muffler, should we just do baffled on both of them just to make it a bit more... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Okay. Okay, so obviously the high RPM, this engine just doesn't like it. It's all right up to... What are we looking at here? like just below 8,000 it starts to go. I don't know how to make that better. That's actually something you guys, if you could tell me that, how I could fix that. We need to improve the crank. Okay. You could leave a comment or I could just read this right here. So we're only using cast iron. So if you want to get a free revving high RPM engine, we're going to have to go with something. Oh dear. Okay, right. We'll go for the forged steel and maybe heavy forged rods or heavy duty forged. Well, that's definitely going to help on the con rods at least. Well, I guess this is going to have really good pistons in it, I think. We're just going to have to go for forged pistons and lightweight forged con rods maybe. Yeah, let's just go a bit crazy. And then the RPM limit, I'm just going to knock this down until we get to 0. Perfect. So we've got 9,000 RPM limit. Pretty good. We definitely got a massive drop off here. How do I fix that? Okay, let's get a richer fuel mixture in. We can get up to around there. Get some more ignition timing. Might be able to actually make it a bit richer with some more ignition timing as well. No, that's about what we can do. Right, so I got it up to about there. This is definitely not as fancy as I was hoping. Okay, so super leaded has awful emissions. Look at that. Okay, maybe I might stick that to super instead. Well, actually, there's no real improvement over just using premium. So I'm just going to use premium 95. That's better. Okay, how are we doing for compression? Oh, no, we get some knock. Oh, that's not good. And then knock that cam profile up as much as we can. See, I don't know if I turn these up, I can then turn the rest of it up. It's really just... Oh, that's definitely made that a lot better. There's no drop off now. I've actually got that all the way up in race, and I've got no problems here. Okay, so I don't know if I actually can get away with having that being less than 0, just so I can have that higher. No. I think any more than that is going to be crazy, so I think I might just keep that at 9,000. At least that's nice and safe. And here we go. I'm going to do some manual testing. Sounds good. Oh, there's a little bit going on with the headers. A little bit of an airflow restriction there. So maybe if I go for long tubular. Oh, yeah, that exhaust diameter definitely wasn't helping. In fact, it was a little bit... Oh, no, we want to go... I was almost perfect there. Okay, 57. This is actually really fun, just trying to, like, balance all of these. Okay, this is as good as we're going to get it. So we've managed to get a respectable... is it? 135 kilowatts? What's that in real money? I don't know. You know what? That's fine. Right, and I'm going to go for this body here. Like that. Let's make this a little bit less like a Fiesta if we can. Ooh, we can actually make that have a boot. No, actually, no, that's not good. That's not... that's not good at all. Oh, no. Okay, I don't know how much we can really change this. Oh, we can stick that top bit. And actually, no, we don't want to do that either. So it's almost like a weird, like, Fiesta with a boot. I don't really like that, to be honest. I'm thinking keep that completely flat if I can. Man, this is already a good shape. We'll go for some wider arches, though, definitely. Yeah, that's looking pretty crazy. And then match it on the front as well. Always going to go for some wide arches. If we're going to make this like a sort of performance model, may as well. I don't want to go for a longer bonnet on that. Definitely fine as it was. I want to adjust this door line, though, because it's kind of an ugly angle. I don't think I can. Let's get this bottom sill part and actually get that matching. Yeah, get a bit of a body kit look on that. Maybe the bumper? Ooh. No, that's very American. But maybe we'll get a little bit more. There we go. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a forward angle on that. Well, this is kind of similar to a Fiesta, but whatever. We'll just set that up to nice... Oh, what have we got here? Oh, actually, these are going to be front tires too small. We'll change that in a second. Let's keep this. I kind of want to make the car bumpers plastic because, yeah, that's better. That's better. And then for the rest of the car, just want to have less of a flake because that is quite a fancy looking paint. I'm going to make that medium and then darker red. Because actually, I quite like that darker red. And now for the fun. So actually, I'm not using any mods yet. I'm wondering if I should do more videos on this, but for now, I just want to see what I can do without using mods. Maybe I'll do some videos on some mods in a little bit. These are front lights. What am I doing? Ooh. These look like these can match quite well. I'll go for this one. I like the one with the lens on it. Ooh, no, that's way too big. That's a pretty interesting look. I don't really like that angle, though. I'm not too sure on that. Or maybe if I just go for the non-indicator one, actually, and I'll put the indicators on the bumpers. That's quite an 80s thing to do, I think. Right, there we go. We'll have that on there. The other option is I go for some rounder lights. Ooh, no, but they can. Does that match? Does having those two match? That is quite an 80s look. Maybe I'll put those down as like spotlights. Ah. What do they do fit into the bumper? I kind of wanted them to not be in the bumper like that. Or the other option is if I just sort of get rid of these for now. Oh, lovely. Just what I wanted to see. Actually, this thing crashes quite a lot. That's like the 4th or 5th crash I've had in like a day. Okay, it has. And actually, now that I look at this, that's not a great look, is it? That's not the best look ever. Maybe make it like a smaller one, so it's sort of like an old Golf look. Oh man, I could spend hours just fiddling up with tiny little details on these things. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Nah, do you know what? I'm going back to what I had. I quite like that now. Got quite fond of this look. Then seems we're going to work on the front. Let's just continue that with the indicators. Is this shape going to match? If I put that like that. Oh, not again! So if I try and get that to match in width. Actually, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's a good idea in theory, but perhaps not. Although, I tell you what, if I could have the same thickness here as that thickness there, I would actually put that like underneath here. Like if I was to move that up and then put that here. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, the way that these parts match up is not great sometimes. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not bad. I think I might take that as like a nice novel headlight design. Do you know what? I'm going to go for that. For the rear lights, ooh, who knows? So actually these are very Ford Fiesta-y. They don't really fit in that gap. I wanted to have it like this side of the boot. I don't think that's going to fit. If we try and shrink that down, it might look a bit weird. That's kind of, but also not because, yeah. Oh man, I wish that was just angled better. I just want this to like match the body shape. That's the problem when you get all these like preset things and stick them on. They just don't line up properly. If I was to have the lights like that, I mean, if I blur my eyes and pretend that the boot lid line isn't there, I think those lights actually work. I mean, the alternative is I go for these sort of like generic 80s lights, and I don't think they're going to look as good. Nah, that doesn't really have the same appeal. Even if I did something like this, it's not the same. So I'm just going to go for these because in that stock size, it does sort of match up. I'm just going to have to ignore this line. Good God, this is going to take ages. Right, for the grille, I mean, I kind of want to go for the old Ford look where it only has like a small bit there. Do I have that as an option? There's like this grille here. How does that look? Oh man, if that would have matched up with that angle of that and it wasn't so curved. There's too much of a curve going there. I tell you, if this game gave you the ability to sort of like on Photoshop, if I was to like pick that corner up and just like pull it out and make that straight, oh, that would be so good. So then we can actually get like custom shaped grills and stuff going on here. See, if I was to get that, I mean, if I was to try and make that a bit bigger, not really the look I was going for, really. But if I was to make that thinner, then those bars look way too thick. There's like, well, there's too many of them. I only want a couple in there. There is actually one without, oh, mind you, that's got an awful grill. Oh, there's that one. I'm scared it's going to crash again every time it like stops loading for a second. I don't like that grill texture. Oh, mind you, we can change that. Of course. Oh, forgot. Okay, and also we haven't given this a name yet. Maybe we should give this a name. In fact, I'm going to leave that up for you guys to name it and leave a comment below. And then we'll definitely come back to this in another video, I think. Yeah, do you know what? I wish that I could have had that grill bit match up with that angle. But I think for now, this is just what we're going to have to cope with. I actually want to see if I can find a mod that can give us some better grill textures, because these have got like a weird bend in them and it just looks crap. Do you know what? I'm just going to go for that like bumper plastic thing just so that we can't see it. That's better. As for vents down below, do we need one? Maybe not that big. Oh boy. Nah, not sure that's what I want. Actually, I quite like how nice and 80s that looks just like that. Scoops. I mean, it's supposed to be a performance car. I don't know what scoops we have that can look 80s. Maybe something like this? Oh, no, that's way too big. No. I just want a little scoop. I don't want anything crazy. Why is there only, like, big giant... Look at this. No! That looks like a men's shaver. That just adds, like, a small bit, I guess. I don't know. We can, like, make that smaller and a little bit wider, maybe? It doesn't really look like it belongs there, though, does it? Do you know what? We'll keep it. It's an interesting touch. Open sunroof. Don't mind if I do. That's definitely a very 80s, 90s add-on thing. As for lips and stuff, I mean, it'd be nice to have something. There's just so many options I can't even see where this sort of stuff would go. Yeah, this ain't it. This is not what I was thinking. Also, I can't seem to, like, move it to where I want either. So I could, like, have that there and just make it a bit smaller? Yeah, this is not exactly where I want to put it. I think this is perhaps the best we're going to get. Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit down there. It's very hard to actually shape that in. Spoilers? Is that a... Oh, dear. That's not really how a spoiler should look, is it? Oh, we could actually have this down the bottom, actually. We can have it at this part here. So I could actually have that along the lip, which then sort of makes it stick out like a spoiler a bit. It's so hard to get, like, minute adjustments on this. And again, it's sort of angled weird here. Definitely now need to change the size of those lights. Fuel cap, we'll stick a nice rounded one just here. That'll do. Door handles, something 80s. There we go, that's 80s. Let's get ourselves some... Oh, that's the wrong way around. I'm going to put them here. And I'm going to make them the same as the bumper. Should we have it there or should we actually have it down on here? It's just that little quarter panel makes me want to put it there. They're kind of like racing inspired. They're very thin. Yeah, do you know what? Get rid of them. There we go. There's a bunch of body molding stuff as well. Don't know how that's going to look. Oh, dear. Like, what if I did that? Make that really wide? No, that's not a good look, is it? Not sure where I would use this body molding yet. What if we got something like this? Is this going to be like a bumper or like a number plate holder? Yeah, maybe, but I can't really get a look that I like. I kind of like the whole flat 80s look. Even if I was to put that there, it's still got a weird angle to it. I don't want the angle. See, actually, we can get that in number plates as well. Here we go. I'm going to go for this. Stick a black sport plate on it like that. That'll do. Bumper bars? Well, we don't really need those because we've already got a bumper. Badges? Yeah, let's get a badge. Wanted something oval looking to look like a Ford. I don't really have anything oval looking. In that case, I'll go with this sort of badge that looks like a Mind Mac badge. There we go. Stick that there. Or, what if we put it down there? Gee, I don't like that there at all. Down the bottom, that's fine. Then the wheels. Let's get some nice sportier wheels on this. Something cool in 80s that doesn't have a hex missing on the back ones would be nice. Oh, some of them are missing. Oh, that's very Ford. That's very Ford. Yeah, I'm going to go for these because they're sort of very Ford-like. Exhaust tip. Let's go for a double. And we'll stick that there. I tell you what, it's a shame that you can't have like a cutout. It just sort of digs in. I want that to sort of cut out. So we have to sort of have that hanging down. There we go. Miscellaneous features, a bunch of stuff here. Like we can have a lock for the back. In fact, I can get that color matched as well. Oh, that's... that's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Ugh. Oh, man. I just wanted just a small lock. Actually, we'll get some other indicators here. I just want to put a little round indicator on the side here. Make that a bit smaller. Put it down there. Just so we've got a nice side indicator as well. In fact, actually, we might go for a square one instead. Oh, this long one actually kind of looks like the American banana markers that you would have here. Does that really go with that indicator just there as well? Kinda. We'll do that in the bumper plastic as well, just to get it all molded in. Yeah, I like that. Well, we've definitely made a Ford Fiesta. Okay, well, we can only do this front wheel drive. I'm going to do this manual. And we'll make this a 5-speed. Top speed? I don't know. This doesn't have too much power, so I'm not going to go crazy. So, I don't know. Even like 190 kilometers an hour is still quite fast for a car like this from the 80s. And maybe we'll get some spacing like this to make this perhaps a bit better on the acceleration. Crank the quality up. What have we got here? Front tyres too small. Do not worry. Get some radials. Sports compound tyres. How wide can we get these? Let's just get these as wide as... Ooh, we can get these back ones very wide. Look at that. That perhaps doesn't really suit the whole front-wheel drive style. So we make that actually match. Oh, we can only do 165s on the front. Oh, I guess 185 on the rear. Change that rim offset so it's a bit closer to the arches. On the front, it's pretty much already poking out at 165. In fact, we're going to have to make this a bit bigger, I think. Well, that actually now lets me get it even wider. So we might have to get the... Oh, we can't make the rims offset negative either. That's a bit annoying. Well, we'll have some alloys. We'll make them alloy instead of steel. Seems they are alloys. Tire diameter. Can make those even chunkier, but I don't think we really need to do that. I could actually make them... Ooh, 15s. That's a sporty look. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. The clearance of the front engine is getting narrow. This can increase service costs. Consider reducing engine length. It's fine. Right, let's just do discs, 2 pistons, drum rears. So it's got some sort of sporty front brakes, but drums up back. And let's make this a bit more racy. Brake bias, we'll stick that 60-40. 3 and 2 interior, standard, sport. Let's make that sport. With premium cassette tape. God, there's so many things to add here. Hydraulic power steering. Let's go ABS. Let's make this fancy. Let's just go for some standard 80 stuff. Crank the qualities up. We'll go for some standard springs, normal twin tube. Oh, God, there's so much stuff to worry about here. Okay, this is going on way too long. I'm going to have to take a break. Right, okay. Back from the break, I've got a huge load of suggestions of things that we need to fix. This is a definite fix. The car has severe issues with wheel spin. That's probably because we've made this quite quick, but it's still a front-wheel drive car. So we need to adjust the gearing, adding traction control maybe. I mean, I did want this to be a car from 1988. Didn't really get traction control that much. This was only supposed to be like a sort of like a mid-tier sports model and still a hatchback. But we've got some quality settings. We'll ignore that bit. We've definitely got some understeer. Our dampeners are quite hard. Our rear brake force is high compared to grip. Okay, so let's just go ahead and check some of this stuff out. Let's start with the drivetrain. Actually, so far, I mean, it's very hard for me to read what, like, stuff like this means. Acceleration in G's, front force and front grip. I mean, we've definitely got grip. It's sort of like, oh, it's on the line of grip there until about 75 kilometers an hour. I think we perhaps want to make that a little bit safer, and it becomes very stable down here. 20% wheel spin. Yeah, okay. Now I'm starting to understand what this is about, and this doesn't look good. So if actually I try and play around with this, this does get very weird. So it actually stops becoming severe once I just turn the spacing down a little bit. Maybe if I put this into a 4 ratio? I don't know. Yeah, the lower I put the top speed, the more we get wheel spin. So I think our balance is going to be around sort of like in the 180s. I mean, until we drive this, I'm not going to see exactly how bad this is. I don't know how to fix this because I've already got like sports compound tires on. I mean, these don't really change much at all. But our front brake here definitely has, in fact, they both have forces that are way past grip. Is that not good? Maybe I'm just going to have to make these brakes just a lot smaller. And the pad type would just make this more towards comfort. So now our grip is actually above where our brake force is. The rear's still a bit iffy though. So I guess I'll just change the brake bias until it balances. I don't actually know if this is the right thing to be doing here, but this is just what I'm going to do. And then I'll just make that pad type a little better. Oh, actually, no, we're good. There we go. Now we're starting to get everything like that. Okay, now it's telling me I should increase the rear brake size. I can't win. Now, obviously, we do want to get our time down on the braking as well. So it seems it's diminishing returns at 205 and then diminishing returns at 170 on the front. There are just so many things to consider here. Okay, we've got a lot of understeer here. Okay, let's just adjust the suspension and stuff because maybe that will help here because we've also got some stuff going on. So I have just gone for standard, twin tube, passive, presets into sport. How does that do? That's a little better. Okay, so we make the dampers a little less stiff. Oh, actually, mind you, if we want this into the drivability factor, we want to put that up, surely. It does tell us that they're too hard, though. Okay, I'm going to make the springs stiffer. This is just an idea. And then make the dampeners harder. It just tells me that my front dampers are too hard. I think this is going to be trial and error. We're going to have to just stick this into BeamNG and see what happens. We can also knock that ride height down or up. Yeah, this car's not going to be perfect. And here we are. It does look good, especially in this color. With that shine, it is a nice look. It's definitely very Ford Fiesta. I think I've pretty much just made a sort of like a nice Ford Fiesta. This front bit's a little off. This is perhaps a little bit more GM, perhaps, than Ford. However, I like it. I like it. The back design's perhaps the least daring bit, though, because it does just look like a Ford Fiesta compared to the front, where I've tried to make something a bit more unique. The thing is, there's so many like body molding things that I could do to just try and make this look just different. But all of it looks just way too modern. There's not really anything sort of like old style. I mean, I do really like this whole smoothed bit on the side instead of me doing like, for example, I see that it's too rounded as well, especially if you stretch that out. I mean, that would work if it was a bit more of a modern car, but for this car, it just doesn't work. Why is there nothing square? I really want to see some like other people's designs. I haven't really watched anyone's videos on this. Yeah, that's I don't know what that's for, but that's all wrong. I just feel like this back needs something, but I just don't know what. Like adding something like that. But even then, it just doesn't fit in properly. Do I want to keep that in? I really don't know. It's very hard to tell. I mean, it adds something to the back, I guess. It's not very 80s looking though, is it? See, now if this had square edges, then I could like make a bit more of like a shaped back to it. But with this, it just doesn't look right at all. There's definitely some design elements that can be added, but I think I might have to use mods in the future for this one. So actually, I might actually just get rid of that for now. Should we keep that or not? I wish there was a way that we could just hide this quickly. Now, do you know what? For now, I'm getting rid of it. I like that plain, simple look. Right, we're going to ignore this and just try it out in BeamNG and see what happens. So actually, you guys can give me some ideas for names in the comments, but I'm just going to give it a temporary name for now. So this could be the figure 8. It does just look like a Fiesta, doesn't it? It's the party, like a Fiesta, but in English. The Party Sport. And here it is. Right here, it does look a bit plain. Now that I've put this into the game, I feel like we could have done with just something a bit more here. Can I zoom? Oh, okay. I can zoom in. Yeah, this really could have done with maybe some venting down the bottom or something, but I tried to make this look like a sort of a bit of a base spec model, but then I did go a bit crazy with the engine. It doesn't look that bad though, but we are in the shade, so let's move out into the sun here. Here we are. Look at that in the sun. What a beauty. Yes, look at that. I mean, the number plate's gone a bit weird. The lights don't look so bad now. It definitely makes things look a lot clearer when we put it into BeamNG. Everything's kind of a bit sort of messy inside of automation. This definitely makes it look clear. It also looks like my wing mirrors are way too small. I thought they were way bigger than that. Oh, that scale is all weird. But this doesn't look too bad. I actually really like the front of this, even if we are missing some extra details. It's a bit shaky, but I'm pretty sure most cars in BeamNG are pretty shaky. The handling model and the physics model in this game, a lot of people say it's realistic. I seriously disagree. Right, let's just drive down here. I mean, we don't have any interior, I don't think. If I was to... Oh, look, we've even got lights running. Oh, yeah, okay, they're a bit too bright. Can't see anything. Ooh. Right, let's just hear this. Oh! Ooh, okay. Ooh, lots of pops and bangs. This definitely is not... Yeah, this is definitely not a model that would have come out the factory like this. I've pretty much just made a modified car, I feel. Oh man, this is crazy. Ooh, but I've got terrible understeer. I mean, the understeer is awful on this. It makes it very hard to go around corners. To be honest though, I've driven worse. It's not that bad, and actually the wheel spin, I haven't really noticed it to be that big of a deal. Let's try and launch this. Yeah, we get a chirp in second, but it's nothing crazy. I was expecting like constant wheel spin the whole time, but actually this isn't bad. Oh, I have just knocked off my front splitter. Oh, it's still sliding down the road. Oh, and I've just hit a thing. Yeah, that's the other thing with BeamNG is you can properly crash these things. Let's give this a go. Oh, okay, that's blown it. So actually, all the things that I've made that's been like, oh, I've just knocked my splitter off again, haven't I? That's twice I've done that. Right, there we go. It does look good, though, with that little splitter down the bottom. So actually, I want you guys to sort of tell me where I went wrong, where I could have changed this, where you think you would have changed it. And I might do like another version of this. I could try and tweak it up and make like a cleaner model. Oh man, the noises this thing makes is amazing. I thought this was going to be the motorway. This isn't the motorway. But we can go pretty fast. How long until... Oh, it's fallen off. Did not take long on this map at all. And into a building. Oh, no, I was actually thought I was going to hit the wall. Okay, now I've hit that. And, oh, look, there's the engine. Yeah, this isn't actually as bad as I thought it would be from all the warnings that we had on automation. This is actually not that bad. Although that front splitter, something's got to change because it just falls off at every little opportunity. Also, this is a non-turbo as well. This is just naturally aspirated. This is actually pretty quick, I'd say, for an 80s car. But then it has got forged pistons and stuff, which, again, you wouldn't have got that from the factory. This is a pretty over-engineered car. It's definitely more like a modified car than a production car. But again, I'm still getting used to automation and trying to do things properly. I've got a lot to learn, I think. So actually, I do wish that we could have had interiors, unless there's some bit that I've missed. Maybe there is, because I always manage to miss something. It would just be so much better if we can actually add interiors into these in automation. And then we'd have like the full car, because at the moment it's a shame where it's just sort of like dark windows. Oh, we're out the city. Let's go. Okay, whilst the understeer is a little bad if I'm sort of really gunning it, it's still... Okay, actually, yeah, here is not so good. Oh. Wow, pirouetting. And... Oh, there's my wheel. And it's not like Grand Theft Auto, so I can't just double this back round. Okay. Okay, here we go. Through the toll. Top speed run. Oh, let's keep on the motorway. Ooh. Whoa, we've managed to get to 116. 116. And the amount of flames that are coming... This can't be healthy. That is a lot of popping. I tried to just make it as fast as possible, and I didn't really think of anything logical, like making it too rich would just make this happen. I just wanted numbers, and I got numbers. The braking's not that bad either. Oh, we definitely got some front brake fading, though, I've just noticed in the bottom left. But you know what? This is not as bad as I was expecting. I'm actually quite happy with this. I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you have got all the way to the end of this video, you can just say sport in the comment section. But to be honest, I want you guys to just give me some ideas. Give me ideas for like the car name. Give me ideas of how this can be improved. I've got to admit, for automation, I was mostly excited about the design part. The whole engine thing is something that I'm now like trying to learn to like try and make a cool car that works, is balanced, and can be fast, but without like this happening, because this is a bit crazy. So yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and checking out something that isn't Grand Theft Auto on this channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.